In the Feminist Manifesto, when it came time to write that, our points were all so unpopular. In GLF, we were almost persona non grata. We opposed sadism, sadomasochism, as a practice. I mean, acting it out and having bars where you did that. We were opposed to that. We were opposed to transvestitism. We were opposed to, what else? I can't think of it. And we demanded that gay men do childcare usually for women. That first Double F magazine was, my article and Stephen's article were just so negative, just so hostile. It isn't that we didn't have valid criticisms of others in GLF, it's that that's all we had, And I just shudder when I think of that now, because we could have been more. We could have been more idealistic. We could have presented a vision of what living openly as gay brothers, or whatever you wanted to say, was like, how we could support other women, specifically combating sexism, and specifically combating sexism among gay men, anti-woman feelings, not just, it's like some GLF guy said, well, some of my best friends are lesbians. And I said, that's not the point. The point is, how do we treat women in our daily lives, at work, and it's not just lesbians, it's all women. All women are oppressed by all men. And gay men, as any other men, oppress all women. The militant feminists said, no man should call themselves a feminist. You can call yourself a pro-feminist. There wasn't any word yet for what we really wanted to be, which is something on our own, not just a pro-somebody else. And then that arrived with the term effeminist. We could be effeminist, which no longer applied to physical characteristics of being femme or butch and all that stuff, but applied to a man who was not afraid of responding to women as having a voice of their own. And that was a very hard concept to get across, and I don't think we succeeded. But to be effeminist meant that you could stand for something in yourself that is other qualities than those that are glorified in our society by football on, oh, God, people who watch football and or participate in it, and all those things that are kind of staked out as men's territory. They are not men, they're not the territory of men like me who like other things, maybe much better things, different things, complicated things. I like Henry James. I've read all of Henry James's novels 3 times. And I think that's an effeminist activity, to find those qualities in us that were not in sync with the oppressive, barbaric nature of the caveman in all of us. I wouldn't deny that men can be dominating and greedy and all that. It's just that we thought that men could be something else too. And then somebody would say, oh, well, that's so deep in men's nature, you can never get rid of that. And I have another article about that in which I said, yes, things can be deep, but they can also be done with. And that aspect of men should be done with. There should be another way of being a man.
What's that experience like, though, feeling like you want to be part of a movement that is in some ways opposed to you?
Well, yeah. That's the whole crux. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And then you get misbegotten ideas like violence and all the things that we were fucked up about. And that's why in this period in my life, when I am re-examining very closely the anti-transvestism thing, like I'm also wondering about the sadomasochistic thing too. It is so prevalent in the gay subculture. It's just unbelievable. And I'm trying to look at those things and see that perhaps there's another way to look at them. So my thinking is changing a lot. I would not say that the core beliefs are, I still affirm those deeply, but that a lot of the things, the trimmings, I think are not right. Guilt is one of the things that makes it less possible to think clearly. And I can't do anything about the horrible crimes that are committed every day by men against women with a real attitude that this is okay to do. There's nothing I can do that will expiate that, and I am a part of it to the extent that I am a man. However, the only thing I can do is to try to be a different kind of man, and to promote a different kind of man as something that should be become more acceptable as a norm. Our group faded. I don't think it ever broke up, but it just faded.
What do you think were your most important or most lasting contributions?
Of the
Being
group?
feminists, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it, as Daniel was telling me, it certainly made a dent in the thinking on this question.